So the newest Gemini created a trading bot for me but told me not to use it. Nevertheless, I found this Gemini really impressive. So let's see it in action. Okay, so as you probably already know, there is a new Gemini 2.5 Pro from Google. It's free to use for everyone on their AI Studio site. And it is impressive. I asked it to create a trading bot for me that uses trend momentum, volatility and volume indicators, the Alpaca API, VectorBT library and some other stuff to make it great. And it did create me one. It took it about 3 minutes to create more than 300 lines of code. It did some thinking beforehand, and it explained everything I should know about the code and the strategy. So I followed the instructions using our Alpaca environment that we've used before for previous tests. If you don't have one created, you can set it up, because environments make managing Python projects easier and more efficient. I pasted my own API keys from Alpaca, the free-to-use paper trading account. But of course you should use your own keys which you can generate on their website. And finally I copied the code of the trading bot that Gemini prepared for me. The bot was equipped with a strategy using the SMA, RSI, ATR and volume indicators, and I pasted the code into the notebook. Now, because I wasn't using an extra file for my credentials, I had to change the API keys in the appropriate positions. Now, let's take a look at the strategy Gemini chose for the bot. For the buy signal, the bot checks if the fast SMA is greater than the slow SMA. The RSI needs to be above 55 to confirm the momentum, and the current volume must be greater than the volume SMA, which acts as confirmation. For the sell signal, the bot looks for the fast SMA to be less than the slow SMA, or the RSI needs to drop below 45. This strategy combines trend, momentum, and volume to make informed decisions as it was supposed to. It's quite impressive. A pretty complex program for starters, if I may say, but will it work? And of course, now remember, this tutorial is for educational purposes only. The trading bot created by Gemini is not made as a financial advice. We are using here only paper trading account in which there is no money involved. Remember to do your own research and consult a financial advisor before making any trading decisions, because trading involves risk. And as ChatGPT says, you are responsible for your own actions. Well said, ChatGPT. Anyway, let's get back to our bot and see it in action. Okay, and we got an error. Now, let me speed things up, because it took me a couple of tries before I managed to get a properly working bot from Gemini. And let me show you the final working version. Here we go. The working bot. Once again, kudos to Gemini. Color me impressed. Unfortunately, maybe because we're using a paper trading account from Alpaca here, we couldn't get real-time data for calculating the indicators. So, I asked Gemini to do something about it. We tried a couple of things with the Alpaca API, but it still didn't work. So after some consideration, Gemini decided to go a different way, and it used another library called CCXT to improve the setup. And after some tweaking, and without me writing a single line of code, we finally got our bot to use the indicators. Hooray! Great work, Gemini. Now, what was left was to wait for the indicators to show that it's time to buy some coins. So, during that waiting time, I decided to check exactly what was in the code Gemini prepared. And it was mostly what I was expecting. By the way, if you're interested, you can check that code on my website. I'll drop the link in the description. Anyway, what really caught my attention was the strategy Gemini decided to go with. Was it any good? Because, you know, it's important. And I know I said Gemini was impressive and all, but that was about the coding. The right strategy, though, is something different. So, I decided to ask Gemini what it thought about the strategy, and how I could check if it's actually good. And here's what I got in response. It told me about the strengths and weaknesses of the strategy. It explicitly said that it is a plausible and logically structured starting point. Good to know. And it also recommended some backtesting, among other things. So, I decided that was a good idea. I like backtesting. As you might remember, I backtested 13 different strategies some time ago. And it was fun, so let's do the backtest now too. And once again, it took a couple of trials and errors before we got there. But we got our backtesting program fully functional. What used to take people hours back in the day, creating a code like this, now you can do in minutes. If that's not impressive, I don't know what is. And you don't even have to know coding, you just need to know what you want to achieve. Of course, being able to understand the code helps. That's why I believe Bill is right when he says that coding is not dead. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, so we've got our backtest of the strategy Gemini prepared. Tested for the entire year of 2023. Can you guess how it worked? Was it any good? And no, it wasn't. We lost almost 100% of our money. Why? That's not great. But don't just take my word for it. Let's trust Gemini. Let's ask it what it thinks about its own strategy. And here we have it. Do not trade this live. What? Now, that's great. So why the hell did you propose this strategy in the first place? One might ask. But let's not be like this. Let's just calm down. Let's ask Gemini to create some other strategies and backtest them so we can choose the best one. Maybe one of them will be better. Maybe one of them won't cost us all our money. And by the way, that's why you backtest your strategies and use paper trading first. And that's why this is not a financial advice. Because losing all your money is not a great advice. Once again, thanks Gemini, but that's okay. Just give us something better, please. Okay, so we have our 5 different strategies. Now, are they any better? Let's test them. And here we go. We got our backtest summary and all of them are better. That doesn't mean much of course, because it would be hard to lose more than 99% of our money. But still, so, Let's ask Gemini to choose the best one. The one with 3% profit in 1 year. Not the best in the world. I know, but it's for educational purposes only, so we'll stick with this. Let's copy and paste the code Gemini prepared for us. And in the meantime, let's check how our currently working bot is performing. And we finally triggered the buy signal. The bot properly bought some coins. And we paid the fees, so we started losing money already. Anyway. As you can see, the market looks volatile. So, was it a good purchase at the time? We'll see. What we do know is that the bot buys coins properly. Kudos. Now we just need to find out if it sells the coins when it triggers the sell signal. From the indicators or from the stop loss function. And here we go. Fast forward. We got the signal and the bot sold the coins. We did lose some money, but not that much. I guess that's life, as they say. Anyway, Gemini, once again, you did well. You created a lousy strategy, but great working code for the bot. Now we just need a better strategy. Let's get that better one working. We start with replacing our alpaca keys. In this strategy, Gemini changed the time frame for acting from a 1-minute interval to a 15-minute interval. But it kept pretty much everything else the same. Brave choice. And apparently that was enough to make the strategy much better. Well, let's check if this one also works. I'll let the bot run for 16 hours. So, let's get started. And as you can see, it works. Okay, so now we wait. And there it is. It bought and sold the bitcoins. Unfortunately, it lost money again on this transaction. Well, maybe next time. As you can see, it wasn't the best day for Bitcoin. So we'll leave it at that for now. Because in the last 16 hours, the bot only made 2 transactions. So it could take another day before the next one. Anyway, let me sum it all up. Right. Gemini is great at coding. It created a fully functional trading bot within minutes with just a couple of prompts. It also created some strategies it believed were good for trading, using different types of indicators. It even created a backtesting program, which helped us check which of the strategies were actually any good. It gave us 5 strategies to test besides the first one. But one of the strategies used ADX and I couldn't make it work with the VectorBT library. Nevertheless, we did test 5 strategies altogether. And although I wouldn't recommend any of them, because this is not financial advice, they do use what we asked for and are a good starting point. Now to go further, we might do something similar to what we did last time when testing different strategies. We can choose various hyperparameters, like a 1-minute interval versus a 1-hour interval, RSI over 55 or RSI lower than 30 or any other as a buying signal, etc. And of course we don't have to code it ourselves. We can just ask, prompt, Gemini to do it for us. So, I would say it's a great time to live with bots like Gemini 2.5 Pro. Oh, yes, and we also asked our bot to create the log for all our trading. So here we have it. It's good to have this kind of log, or even a more detailed one, for analysis and to improve the bot in the future. And now, as they say, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that bell button to get the notification whenever I upload new video. You can also find the code from this testing. More about me and my projects on my site, SuperAI.pl. In the meantime, I wish you all the best in learning how to navigate this new world, where AIs can do so many amazing things. See you soon, and remember, improve yourself, improve your business, improve the world, but also live and have fun. Yours, Super AI.